So let's kick things off, man. I'm wondering. I was thinking about this earlier while I was doing some dishes this morning. Thinking about what do I find so interesting about data science and about machine learning, and I figured this would be a great question to kind of kick the hour off with. So I want to know, you guys, what do you find so interesting about machine learning? What kind of drew you to this field? Let's go ahead and start with Christoph, and then we'll hear from Marin. Christoph, what is it about machine learning that you find super interesting?
I knew you were gonna pick me for some reason. uh, what I like is that uh, there's a lot of math in it because when I was in high school, I was pretty good at math, but I never had the idea what I could do with it. And after I just learned how to program, it was like 2 years ago, I had no idea about what machine learning meant. I knew there was such thing, but I didn't know what it actually meant. And when I discovered that it involves a lot of math, and I was like programmer, but never using math skills, that's what actually helped me to choose machine learning. So that's how I started learning because I thought I could finally use this, I'd say, ability to learn math.
Nice, awesome, man. That's cool. Let's hear from Marin. Marin, what about you? What was so interesting about machine learning for you?
I knew that you'll pick me up too.
Well, there's not
Well,
many people in the room, so
that are only six people, five excluding you. So, actually, I'll go in a more general thing. I think a lot of us who are here and basically engineers and scientists, they like solving puzzles. We're curious in nature and want to find answers. I mean, we ask a lot of questions and want to find answers. And before, I was happy to be solving puzzles, but at some point, my puzzles that I was solving were leading nowhere. They didn't have any outcome, tangible outcome. And discovering that, I'm going to switch a little bit, not machine learning so much. Machine learning is for me sort of a tool to achieve something. But as a data scientist, you can ask a lot of questions and find answers to some things that are not obvious to people. And that's what drew me to the field. So solving puzzles in the first place, but puzzles that actually have some impact when you find the solution to the puzzle.
I absolutely love it, man. There's some great reasons to get in the field. I love that nobody mentioned, the fact that we just get paid good money. Like I love that you guys actually came through with the real reasons that you're interested in it. For me, I just like doing hard things. Like this is it, to me, it's like it's difficult to do, but I enjoy doing it because it's fun and it's exciting and it's I just feel like the return on learning, just the acceleration curve just gets steeper and steeper with everything that I do, at least. So that's one of the main reasons why I love this field of data science, why I love machine learning. It's super interesting, it's super fun, and being able to possibly predict future things, like, to me, that's like super exciting as well.
Okay, first off, I'm still sort of transitioning to the machine learning field. I'm still working as a software engineer, so I'm getting there. And yeah, the nature is like I loved math in back in my high school days since I was a kid. So pretty much what Austin said about you know being in a place where I could actually use math, and then I ended up liking programming too. So this seemed like a perfect combination of those things. And you even get to do a lot more exploratory stuff, and you can get into something like predicting the future and having somebody take action based on the future you predict, and also have a solid reasoning for how or why you predicted a future. I mean, how cool is that? In most other professions, do you really get to do that?
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Awesome. Gee, Austin, like what what draws you to the field of machine learning? Because I mean, you can be working for any type of industry, any type of tech company, but what is it about machine learning in particular that you find really interesting?
Yeah, there's what I'm realizing, I think, is there's a few things. Like one is that especially in the there's just like a huge community focus. A lot of people are really feel really dedicated to like helping each other out in ways, and sort of like this like rising tide lifts all boats sort of attitude. I mean, it's obviously very competitive, and like we're all out to like advance ourselves, but there's also this sort of like we do that by making it more explainable, making all this stuff more explainable, making it more transparent as we can. Being creative about the way we think about use cases, and it's a field that is like growing so fast. So it's like, you know, there's all these kinds of like intersections with my sort of artistic past or my more creative past, like generative art, text generation, like all these kinds of things I can find within it, something that appeals to these different parts of me. Like I'm not a data scientist, I'm not anyone who codes or anything like that, but I think those kinds of things, the community part of it, and then there's this like, there's room for creativity and generativity, and it's just evolving so fast. I think that's implicit in the study of or the field itself.
Yeah, speaking of that creative, like generative art part of it, I was reading my friend's book earlier this weekend. My good friend John Crone. You guys might recognize John Crone. He's the host of the Super Data Science podcast. Become pretty good friends recently, but I was reading his book. He's got some excellent chapters here. I was reading the chapter specifically on natural language processing because that's what I've been interested in recently. But chapter 3 in this book talks about machine art. So machine art, and it's really, really interesting. It's talking about GANs, like and things like that. So code examples and everything. I thumbed through that chapter, but I was just like, my mind was blown by how cool this stuff is. So yeah, if you guys get an opportunity to check out John's book, man, John is awesome. He's got an amazing series on YouTube as well that kind of goes in depth behind the math and everything.